I am Sarah from 10 Minute Momentum, and I just thought I would jump on here today, kind of quick, and talk about something that I've been thinking about. I've been enjoying a lovely summer lull from all the school activities. I hope you are too. And as I was thinking about um, the school year and all the years my kids have been learning and such, I couldn't help but think like there are things I wish I would have known when I first started, when my kids first started with school and homeschool and all the things. And so I thought, you know what, today I'm going to jump on here and I want to talk about preschool, right? Because it seems like a lot of people start getting their ducks in a row when their kids are little and they're really excited to get started, and that's awesome. So I thought I'd kind of go back and share a little of my story, and hopefully it will be helpful to someone. Okay, so when my oldest was in preschool, school wasn't really on my radar yet. Like I didn't come at this with a really well-formed plan. And I was an overwhelmed mom with a lot of little kids, and we had just moved from one house to another. And I didn't really get into the preschool thing with my oldest. And our kids kind of came quickly. We had a bunch of babies, then we adopted some too. Well, we fostered and then adopted. And so by the time my oldest was 9, we had 7 kids. Needless to say, I was an overwhelmed mom and I did not have a lot of time to consider preschool because had all these little kids, was a foster mom, and here I was trying to homeschool my kids that were of like required school age. So looking back, I didn't realize at the time that it was kind of a blessing that I didn't have enough bandwidth to really overthink preschool, right? Um, my kids spent most of their days playing outside, digging in the sandbox, playing on the swing set, following me around, doing whatever. Sometimes they'd help cook. But they didn't really have a structured preschool program. In fact, I was so overwhelmed that most of the time my kids weren't getting those like lovely bedtime routines with like come inside and take a bath and read a book and, you know, snuggle up with mom and dad. Like that didn't happen. By the end of the day, I was exhausted. Maybe we would read a book, probably not, maybe an educational video. And yeah, they were probably still dirty when they went to bed. Full disclosure, right? I'm that mom. So I didn't have it all together. And eventually when we joined a co-op and such, our preschool routine got a little bit more formal. We had preschool classes in our co-op, so that was about as formal as it got. And that was just one day a week. And other than that, we didn't do structured preschool. We would read some books, we watched educational shows, we made food, we did lots of crafts. And just so we're clear, most of the time, crafts was them pulling art supplies out of the closet, cutting up paper, and creating elaborate but not beautiful creations. Most of these ended up in the trash, but they had fun making them. And so they like to make messes. We also would go to the park, sometimes do field trips and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest, it was not like organized. We didn't like study frogs for a week and then study butterflies another week. We didn't do that. It was just whatever came up. If a friend invited us to a field trip, we did it. If we had cousins come over and play, we did that. It was just we took each day as its own and just did whatever. I think that looking back over almost 21 years of being a parent and having had a lot of preschoolers, that I really wouldn't change anything. If I had more time back then when they were little, I maybe would have done specific units, studied frogs for a week or two or butterflies or whatever, but I didn't, and it didn't matter. I have three adult children now, and one of them is studying computer programming. Another one is studying corrosion engineering, and my daughter is an assistant manager at a restaurant and in their management program. So, it didn't stop them having like my hodgepodge preschool experience didn't stop them from stepping into the thing they wanted to do when they were adults. Now, you're probably laughing at me as you see this because you're like, well, of course not, right? But hey, it's a real thing. When you're in the moment, when you have just young children and you don't have like a history of looking back and seeing how things work out, it can be easy to overthink. And let's face it, most of us struggle with mom guilt. I have lots of mom friends, and this is a topic I talk about with lots of people, right? I just kind of ask all kinds of weird questions. And almost everyone admits that they have some kind of mom guilt over not doing enough, whatever that is, right? And am I doing enough? Am I teaching enough? I still struggle with this. Like, I will be running myself ragged trying to show up in all the places for my kids, thinking, am I doing enough? Like, I literally spend all day doing that sometimes. It's a crazy, crazy thing, moms, that we do this to ourselves. So, if I was to go back to my younger self, I would tell myself that doing structured activities is fine, and that it's also fine if I didn't want to do any of it. I would also tell myself that it's best if I can do things with my kids that I enjoy rather than feeling some kind of pressure to do activities that are, supposed to be good for them. It's so much easier to do ones that I enjoy. So if I enjoy cooking, let's do that with the kids. If I enjoy doing crafts, let's do that together. If I don't want to build model rockets, let's not do that together, right? If I enjoy it, then I am much more likely to be in a good mood when I do things with my kids and to make it fun. But if I'm not having fun, they probably aren't either. I can like save those activities to do with somebody else that enjoys them more. All right. So as you look around, you may see that everybody doesn't do preschool the same way, right? Some people are really super structured. And like I just described, I was pretty relaxed. I had family members that were very structured. And then I have some that are far more relaxed. And guess what? It all works, right? I think the key is that you choose something with your family that works for you, that you can be excited about, that's energizing. And when it stops working, whatever it is, it's okay to stop, right? If you buy a curriculum or an activity, or you pay for a membership and it's fun at first and then it stops being fun, be done, right? You don't have to keep doing, you don't have to finish out everything you buy to try. And you should just know that it's pretty normal that a lot of us do that. And it's part of the journey. We're all learning and trying new things. And if I could encourage you, like my oldest is 20, almost 21. Time went so fast and slow, right? It went slow some days. But it went so fast. And it's just not worth stressing out over all the little details, whether you're doing it exactly right, because I'm telling you, I didn't do it exactly right and it still worked out. All right. So that was all. That was one of the things I thought about that I kind of wished I would have known all those years ago when I was putting myself under a lot of pressure. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.